Even if you're extremely passionate about health and wellness and you love it and you want to help all the people in the world, it can be a tough gig to actually make money in the wellness space. So we had the opportunity to interview Chris Williams, and Chris is somebody who's cracked the code when it comes to actually monetizing online, making money with wellness. And so our amazing COO, Allison Mancini, interviewed Chris to bring the best of what's working today in the wellness space. Let's dive in.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to be here today. As some of you may know, my name is Allison Mancini, and I'm the COO here at The Goal Digger Girl. And I'm really excited to have a very special guest with me today. And I'm excited to be able to be on here and interviewing her. So I'm going to go ahead and let Christine introduce herself, and then we're just going to dig right into all kinds of goodness here.
Oh my gosh, Allison, thanks so much for having me. I am Chris Williams. I am a soulful business and leadership coach for women. Specifically, I work with women who are health coaches, life coaches, spiritual coaches, in the wellness entrepreneurship world. And I help them start, grow, and scale their businesses to make a really beautiful time freedom boutique business somewhere between the 100 to 500K mark.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would love to hear, and I would love for our audience to hear, tell us a little bit about your background, kind of where you came from and how you got to where you are now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I can take this in so many different directions. I think we all have stories, right?
Yes.
And yeah, so I've been in the wellness world for over 30 years. I started back in the day in 1993, actually, where I was doing yoga teaching. So I decided that, you know what, I was in the corporate world, but I also was really into health and natural healing. And I decided that I wanted to be a yoga teacher. So I got my certification there and just kind of did that part-time while I was an account executive working for another company, traveling around North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia Beach, all of the things. And then I decided, once I got married, like, let's see, it was 3 years later, 1995, I got married and I became a stay-at-home mom for 17 years and still taught yoga. We also started like a community garden and very crunchy granola. And after 17 years of being home with my boys and homeschooling them and still, being in the wellness world of entrepreneurship on the side, I went through a divorce and had to decide what it is that I wanted to do. And so one of the things that I knew was that I did not want to go back into the corporate world. I had really enjoyed being more in the wellness entrepreneurship world. And so I decided that I was going to go back and do something that I felt was going to be able to take care of me and my 3 boys. And got this crazy idea in my head that massage therapy was going to be the thing. I was like, okay, yeah, I can make money and, do something that gives back. And, it wasn't the wrong thing for sure, because it opens to other opportunities. And so, what I learned in becoming a massage therapist was that my clients are asking me more questions about nutrition. And I said, okay, well, I know it. I've been doing it. I've been teaching it. I've been, living it. And so I went back to get the letters after my name as a functional nutritionist and started weaving in health coaching, life coaching, and functional nutrition into my business. And, became so successful at it that people then started asking me what I was doing to build and grow my business. And so it organically morphed from being, this focus on helping other women who are burned out, who are really just struggling with their own health and their own inner confidence, to helping other women who are trying to start their health coaching, life coaching, nutritional coaching businesses. And so that's just how it got me here. I went from literally having $25 in my pocket after I got divorced to creating over $2.5 million in my business today.
I love that. And you know what I love? First of all, I did not know you were a massage therapist, and you and I have chatted and I'm like, I didn't know that part of it. I love it. But I really love how you shared. And I find this is very common when you really find what you're passionate about and you put your work into it. It organically takes you where you need to be, right? Because that's what happened for you. And I see that happen so often. So I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
So tell me about any challenges, because, a lot of the women that listen to our podcast, they're very, they're saying they're female entrepreneurs. And so tell me about some challenges or a challenge you had to go through and just kind of how you work through that.
Yeah. I think, there's a common challenge that I can see that ran through multiple, times that kept popping up. So I'll share that one because I think it's one that is probably pretty common. And that is, once I got my certification as a massage therapist, I didn't know how to create a business. And right. So I was like, okay, well, now what do? I have the certification. How do I actually make money with it? Same thing happened when I got my functional nutrition therapy practice certification. I'm like, okay, great. Now I know what to do. I've got the certification. I know how to support people, but I don't know how to monetize it. Same thing happened when I got my health and life coaching. It was like this common theme where, it was like, well, once I get the certification, then they will come. Well, that's actually it doesn't work that way. It's not, if you build it, they will come. It's, there are some really specific things that you need to do in order to build and grow a business. And so I just didn't know what I didn't know. And so the way that I navigated those challenges was I actually just talked to people. So when I first, opened up my massage therapy practice, I had no idea what to do. So I really just started asking some of my friends who were already massage therapists. I'm like, okay, like now what do I do? Like I have the certification. What do I do? And they're like, okay, well, you could. And I looked for the people who were actually in entrepreneurship because I knew that I didn't want to go work for somebody else because I had 3 boys. I had been a stay-at-home mom with them for, the 17 years. I wanted to make sure that I was going to be available when they got home from school to get to the soccer games, to get to the football games, and to do all of that. So I knew that entrepreneurship was going to be the way that I wanted to go to create that time freedom and the support that I wanted to be for my family. So I started asking other people who already had massage therapy businesses. And so then I'm like, okay, great. Like now I need to find a room to rent. If I don't want to work for somebody else, I need to have a place. I don't want to do it out of my home because I've got 3 children here. So what do I do next? So it was reaching out and talking to people who had success already because success leaves clues and they were happy, to kind of share their journey. And then, I just started and we learn the hard way, right? We do some things that work, some things they don't work. It doesn't mean that things are broken. It's just feedback, right? I remember a recommendation that a friend gave me was like, oh, I just started doing Groupons and legit, I was doing $12 massages. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not doing Groupon again. Like I'm never going to do that again. Like that was not a good thing. So yeah. So you learn as you go. And what I want to say around this piece is you have to take the action in order to figure out what's working. It's not like we know from A to Z, okay, I'm going to do this, and these are the exact things that are going to happen, and then I'm going to end here. It's never going to be linear, but you do have to take the action and say, okay, let me try this and see what happens and get feedback on it and see it as feedback and say, did I like it? Do I want to repeat it? Or is this a way to leverage it as an opportunity? Or is it just something that I know, what, this really is just not going to be a good fit for me. I'm going to try something different. So the biggest challenges, especially with women in entrepreneurship, is we just weren't taught how to start and grow and scale a business. Like we're not taught that. And so we really do need, some mentorship and some support along the way to guide us. And I do recommend that the mentorship that you look for isn't just like a friend, not just a colleague. Right. Because they don't know what they don't know either. Right. Just because they're in a suitability buddy in your certification program doesn't mean that they're doing either.
It's true. And you know what? A lot of times they won't hold you as accountable as someone who's not a friend. Right. So
totally.
It makes a big difference.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just about to say that's the biggest challenge when we're first getting started. And since I work with women who are first getting started, that's, I look back and I see, well, what were the challenges that I bumped up against? And that was the challenge that kept coming up after the certification. So it's not really you need another certification. It's that you need to know how to actually monetize the certification.
Yeah. I would agree. We see that a lot a lot of entrepreneurs, you're constantly like wanting to learn and be better and doing all these things. And that's fantastic and awesome. But I love what you said. It's about making those steps actionable and doing it and trying it. And if it doesn't work, okay, you learn things from it, right?
Yeah,
we're learning all the time. I've been with the company for over 5 years. You've been in businesses, I think, a little bit longer than Kimberly has been, and you still are learning all these years later.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
I love that you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we get to give ourselves permission, right? I know that there's this idea that once you figure it out, you're going to be set for life. But Oh my gosh, entrepreneurship is this wacky world where things are changing. The market is changing, buying behaviors are changing, you're changing, what it is that you want to focus on or what lights you up isn't changing. Your clients are changing or what they want is changing. And so we really do have to, allow ourselves to, be in that place that might feel a little shaky, it might feel a little wonky. But we're constantly learning and we're constantly growing. That gets to be part of business.
Yeah, I love that. So let me ask you a question. So, because I know your expertise is really in functional nutrition, which, as you and I talked about, I love. Like, I worked with a functional medicine doctor and started years before they were a thing, and I absolutely am 100% believer. And you also, your really sweet spot is working with those women that are in that space and wanting to become a coach. So, what are some tips you would give some women, either from the functional nutrition perspective and or if they're in that industry and they really want to build a business, what would be some tips you would give?
Yeah. And I also work with coaches. So if you're a health coach, a life coach, a spiritual coach, if you are in a service-based wellness entrepreneur, that's really my sweet spot. And it's because of my past experience, right? Yoga teacher, massage therapist, health coach, life coach. I legit, when I was counting up my certifications, this is so embarrassing, but I'm just going to say it anyways. I legitimately have 12 certifications.
No, I think we all do.
Oh, I'm like, all right. So, what I will say is, when you are building and growing your business, one of the first places that I start with everybody, no matter where you are, by the way, this is if you're just starting, this is if you're at 100K, this is at your 500K, it doesn't matter. We come back to this. I come back to this every quarter and I come back to this every quarter with my clients is your ideal client. Are you clear on what the problem is that your ideal client is asking? Not what you think that you should be helping them with, right? I talk about this being the difference between chocolate and broccoli. Our clients are asking for the chocolate and we're saying, but you need to eat the broccoli. And so it's like a miss here, right? And if we're not clear on what our ideal client, what is the main problem that they are saying that they are having, not what we think they have or what we think we can solve, but what is it that they are actually saying that they have that problem with? And what does the solution look like for them? We really need to get clear on that. And so I come back to that every single quarter because for as long as I've been in business, people are communicating it and using different words. And I want their words. I want to know exactly what it is that they're saying that they're stuck in. And I want to know exactly what their words are because that's the way that I can actually help them self-identify so that they can raise their hand and go, yes, that is what I'm looking for. Like she is speaking my language. Like she gets me, she sees me, she hears me. Right. So that's the number one step that, I start with my clients and we circle back around to multiple times because we are evolving, our clients are evolving as we're working with new people, we're getting more information. And so I would say, start there and work with somebody on it. Really, I do recommend that you work with somebody on it because when we're in the bottle, we can't read the label, right? Yeah, and it's really hard for us when we're coaches or practitioners to communicate what it is that they're asking for versus what it is that we're doing. And we tend to lead with, this is what I do, but they don't understand how what we do is actually going to help them. Right. Okay. Functional nutrition. So what? Like, what's in it for me? What problem do people
don't get it? Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So languaging around ideal client is really, really clear. Needs to be really, really clear.
Hey, Gold Digger, are you ready to slay sales like a boss? If you are, I've got something for you. I've got a full boot camp ready to go for you, so that way you can learn not only how to find people on social media to talk to, how to be able to rip the Band-Aid off and ask them if they'd like to take a look at what you have, whether you're a network marketing, direct sales, a course creator in the service-based industry, a coach, but you've got to find a way to bridge the gap between finding the lead, qualifying them, making the offer, closing the sale, and obviously putting a solid follow-up system in place. And that's what I have for you. So what I'm going to have you do is register for the boot camp. I'll be live every single day during that time together. And you'll also have an opportunity to watch some replays as well. So look below this video so you can grab that button and get ready to slay sales like a boss.
Well, and I also love how you pointed out, and I think this has kind of been a little bit of a theme as we've been talking, is that even you and Kimberly and our team and probably the people you work with all have coaches. Like you guys have coaches too, right? So I think that's that people don't realize. And Kimberly talks about it all the time, like you are. Like, we need coaches as well because we need that help as well. So
yeah. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I only work with other coaches who have coaches. I only work with other coaches.
That's a really good way to look at it. I love that.
Yeah. And it's important because I need to know that they are on top of what's going on in the marketing world and in the business world. If I'm going to hire a business coach, I want to know that the information that I'm learning is applicable to today, not 2015 or prior, right? Because what worked back then does not work today. And so,
no, especially, it's like what worked 3 months ago is not working now. So there you go.
Exactly. And so, the beauty of that is that I know that if they're working on their stuff and they're working with somebody, that's going to trickle down to me and I'm going to get the right information so that I'm working with my clients and I'm working on my business. And I only teach from what it is that I personally do and see that's working. Then I can share that with them.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. So what would be one thing that you would say to someone who's new to the entrepreneurial world? One bit of advice.
Oh, gosh. The main thing that's popping up, because this is what I am seeing, in the coaching world right now a lot, is give yourself some grace. This is something brand new that you are entering in. Chances are you haven't learned how to do any of this yet because we are navigating a completely different world here. Whether you are building a new business from scratch like I did, or whether you're trying to take a brick and mortar online, it's new. It's going to feel wonky. It's going to feel shaky. It's going to feel a bit uncomfortable. That doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. And it doesn't mean that it's not aligned, because anything that we do that's different or that we're learning for the first time is going to feel a little wonky. So give yourself some grace for sure. Know that entrepreneurship is not a straight line. There are going to be days where you are like, this is the best life ever. And then there's going to be days where you are going to feel like you want to burn it all down and go be a barista.
So true. Even for those on the team feel that way sometimes.
And it's normal. It's normal. Yeah. And, what I want to say about this too is that it doesn't mean that there's anything going wrong either. I say this to my clients too. I'm like, just because it feels this way, or we have a thought that it should be happening faster, or, I implemented this and I expected it to come back in the exact same way that I implemented it. That's just not the way that it works. And so I think that people need to hear from more of us who are further along the freeway than they are, that nothing's broken. It just means that instead of coming through the front door, it might be coming through the back door. Or maybe what it is that you're learning is an opportunity so that you can leverage it for future growth, or leverage it in a way that is actually going to be much more beneficial than where you are now. So it really takes some emotional resiliency to lean in instead of lean out, and just trust that, especially if you've got help. And I would absolutely, since you mentioned that, I didn't mention it, but I would say find somebody, find a mentor, find a guide, find somebody that you are actually investing in, so that you can also put your energy and your skin in the game to show up and implement and actually, put those things in action. But find somebody that you resonate with. Find somebody that you want to learn their method or their strategy or whatever it is that they are doing, somebody that you like the way that they're growing their business. Because then you are going to, really connect and resonate with them, because there's a lot of different business coaches out there. There's a lot of different ways that you can get support. It just depends on, what works for you and the type of business that you want to run, and whether or not you want to do it organically, or whether you want to invest money into ads, or whether you want to be speaking or on podcast, or there's just so many different variables that trying to do it on your own is the slow road. You really want somebody who's got some experience that can help you identify what is going to be the best fit for you and how to shorten that timeline to your success.
Yeah. And I think too, and I know you have kind of alluded to this. So Chris and Kimberly have been where you're at when you're first starting out, and they did not look the way they look now when they started. If you go back to Kimberly's stuff, and I'm sure, Chris, if you go back to your stuff, it's a different person. And I know for us, sometimes we get clients, and I'm glad that you brought this up, because they'll get frustrated because things aren't happening maybe as quickly as they want them to. And I always have to remind them, You have to remember what you're seeing Kimberly do is not what was happening 6, 7, 8 years ago. Like this is something that she grew into. And like you said earlier in our conversation, you grow from it, you learn from it, you become better, you become that person that you are now. But I'm sure it was not the same Chris that you were 8 years ago. It probably looked different.
Yeah. Even 30 years ago, right? I think that the key here is, there is no room for perfection. Let me just say that, because that's something else that I really want people to hear. Stop waiting. Stop getting ready to get ready. Like nothing happens by getting ready to get ready. The only way that you are going to learn and have confidence in your business is if you take the action. Implement it, get feedback. Make another decision, implement it, get feedback. Make another decision, implement it, get feedback. The most successful people in the world are not smarter than you. They don't have more certifications than you. What they're doing is they're making more decisions in a quicker period of time so that they can get feedback so that they can take another action. But if we wait until we feel like everything's perfect or until we feel confident to put something out, we will never be taking action, because perfectionism is actually, it puts the kink in that hose of abundance, and we never take action because we never feel perfect, because we don't feel confident, because we haven't done anything. So, that's one of the biggest sticking points that I see for people is, saying, I'm not ready yet, or I don't have it all planned out yet. And I'm like, girl, go. Just press the go button, take the action, put it out there. That will lead you to your next step.
Yeah. And I want to point one more thing out before we wrap up. And I want you to share with people how to connect with you too. But and this kind of leads me into this. The other thing is I find a lot of times there's a lack of abundance mindset in all kinds of ways. And I hope you guys have noticed here, Chris is a coach. Kimberly's a coach. They do a little bit different, but there's some things they do that are similar. Chris is still on the podcast because there is an abundance of people out there. Certain people are going to connect with Chris that may not connect with Kimberly. So I also want you guys to keep in mind when you're going through the process of your entrepreneurial journey, have that abundance mindset. What you put out there, you will get back to you tenfold. So, and I know because people are probably like, well, that's so interesting. But I always like to point that out because there is more than enough.
Oh my gosh, yes.
People.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, because I really call this playing the generosity game. And I really do look at it from a place of generosity, that there are more people in the world that I could possibly in my lifetime support. Like I don't even have the capacity for that. And there's going to be people that are a great fit for me, and there are going to be people that are not a good fit for me. And that's totally fine. What I want is to help them get what it is that they want. And if it's me, great. If it's not me, let me give you to a colleague. Let me pass you to somebody who is going to be a better fit for you, because and I like to call it's a bakery. It's not that there's a piece of that we don't have one pie. And if Kimberly takes too big of a piece, then there's less for me. Or if I take too big of a piece, then there's less for her, right? There's a bakery. We are all in the freaking bakery making more pies, right? There is no lack. There is more than enough. And so when we approach our life and our business from that place of generosity, how can I give value? How can I help somebody else get what it is that they want? How can I help, promote or share or serve in some way, shape, or form? You're right. It always comes back. It always comes back. It might not come back in the way that you think.
It should. Right? It does. Oh, yeah, it absolutely. Okay. So before we wrap up, I want to absolutely, Chris, first of all, thank you so much for being on here today. I so enjoyed our time together. I enjoyed it when we met and we chatted for the first time, and I'm really glad that we could finally connect. If you guys all knew, it's taken Chris and I some time to get our connections together, and it's all good. Both busy. Oh, I'm the same way. But I do want to let Chris share with y'all, how can you connect with her and what she has out there?
Sure, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Please reach out to me on Facebook. You'll find me there most of the time. You will find a couple posts on Instagram or LinkedIn, but really where I spend the majority of my time is on Facebook and inside of a private Facebook group. And it's called Holistic Business Success. So if you're a health coach, a life coach, a spiritual coach, again, everybody is welcome. You don't have to be a buyer. It is a place for you to connect with me, to connect with others. I really do focus on building a community and collaborations. That's something that helped me build and grow my business, and something that I lean into today. So definitely find me over there. And yeah, and I think we've got a freebie, but
we'll make sure the freebie is in the comments below, guys. So on the podcast, it'll be there, in our YouTube video, the freebie will be there as well. So yeah, definitely connect with Chris. Go to her Facebook group. We'll make sure that that's in the comments as well. And I just want to thank you again so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to hop on here with me and be on the Goal Digger podcast. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. Yeah.
All right.
And
take care.
As you can see, you can make money in the wellness space, but you just need to be able to apply some of these key principles that were shared in this interview. So make sure you do. Go follow Chris on social media. And more importantly, or even just as importantly, I want you to subscribe to this channel, The Goal Digger Girl, on YouTube, because we want to make sure you never miss an episode. We drop new ones every week. We want to help you monetize your brand and make money from social every single day. Also, go say hello to me on Instagram. You can find me at The Goal Digger Girl. Take a screenshot, throw this in your story, shoot me a DM. I would love for you to do that. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire. We'll see you soon.